Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sumitra and welcome to my channel Pocket Pediatrics. So today we will discuss a very common topic we see in the day-to-day basis in our OPD and ward also. So today we will discuss rickets. So before going to understand what is rickets, first we have to understand the physiology of vitamin D functions. So vitamin D is we synthesize our body synthesize vitamin D from sun exposure, and also we get vitamin D from dietary resources. So this vitamin D is a raw vitamin D. So this vitamin D convert into 25 OSD in the liver, and then it converts into 125 OSD in the kidney by alpha 1 hydroxylase. So what are all the function it handles in the kidney? So vitamin D mainly work on calcium homeostasis, like it can increase calcium resorption from the intestine, and it helps in bone mineralization. Okay, so in the kidney it impacts on calcium homeostasis, also adds on blood pressure regulation. It promotes bone formation as it enhances the calcium deposition in the bone. It improves cardiovascular health, also it helps in the neurodevelopment. So what are the function in pancreas? So in pancreas, vitamin D facilitates insulin secretion. During the pregnancy, we recommend to take vitamin D to mother, because if mother is deficient in vitamin D, then baby can have vitamin D deficiency in early infancy period. So it influences the fetal programming and fetal placental development during pregnancy, and it also supports the placental calcium transfer to the fetal bone mineral formation. Okay, in the lungs, colon, skin, prostate and breast, it regulates the cell cycle. It inhibits the cell proliferation. It regulates the apoptosis and also angiogenesis inhibition. So vitamin D also acts as immunomodulator. So we recommend the parents to give their children vitamin D as a immunity booster also. Okay, so these are the vitamin D functions in the different part of bodies. So rickets can caused by various reasons. It can caused by vitamin D deficiency, calcium deficiency and phosphorus deficiency, and renal tubular acidosis. Okay, so what are the causes of what are the causes of rickets? So first we go through the vitamin D deficiency. So vitamin D deficiency can caused by nutritional vitamin D deficiency, congenital vitamin D deficiency, secondary vitamin D deficiency, malabsorption of vitamin D from intestine, increased degradation of vitamin D, decreased liver 25 hydroxylase, vitamin D dependent rickets type 1 and type 2. We will discuss in short form in short slide later on both of these topic, VDDR type 1 and type 2. Okay, so calcium deficiency can caused by low dietary intake, premature infants. So premature infants are very prone for risk of rickets of prematurity, because if mother is deficient vitamin D deficiency and baby is born to premature, then they are very prone for rickets of prematurity. Calcium deficiency can caused by malabsorption of calcium, primary disease, dietary inhibitors of calcium absorption. So third cause is phosphorus deficiency. So phosphorus deficiency can caused by inadequate intake, premature infants, rickets of prematurity, aluminum containing antacids. Renal losses of phosphate can caused by X-linked hypophosphatemic rickets, autosomal dominant, autosomal recessive type 1, type 2 and hereditary hypophosphatemic rickets with the hypercalciuria. So these disorders of phosphate, we will discuss it later, and what are the lab findings in these disorders and what are the causes of these disorder of phosphate in the short in the further slides. Okay, so Fanconi syndromes, Danon disease, distal renal tubular acidosis also cause hypophosphatemia. ठीक है. So what are the next is what are the type of rickets? So type of rickets can classified on the basis of calcipenia and phosphopenia. So calcipenic rickets can caused by vitamin D deficiency or resistance. Vitamin D deficiency, as we have discussed, can caused by dietary deficiency, malabsorption, lack of sunlight exposure, defect in the 25 hydroxylation, failure of 125 hydroxylation of vitamin D, like in VDDR type 1, and end organ resistance like in VDDR type 2. Calcipenic rickets also can caused by calcium deficiency, renal rickets secondary to CKD. Second is phosphogenic rickets. So phosphogenic rickets can caused by renal tubular phosphate loss, as we have discussed earlier also, that phosphate can decrease, phosphate resorption decrease in the kidney in these disorder, X-linked, autosomal recessive, autosomal dominant, hypophosphatic rickets with a hypercalciuria. Other causes are renal Fanconi syndrome, dietary phosphate deficiency and phosphate malabsorption. Okay, so these are type of rickets on the basis of calcipenia and phosphopenia. Okay, so this table, in this table I have summarized all type of rickets, nutritional rickets, VDR type 1, type 2 and hypophosphatemic rickets, all the type of hypophosphatemic rickets in the format of what are the causes, age of presentation, clinical feature, lab feature. Okay, so this table you can remember and you can revise in 5 minutes, revise in 5 minutes, and like you can answer any in Viva or kind of examination. Okay, so first is age of presentation. So all the rickets usually present in the infancy, and hypophosphatic rickets can present in the childhood also, later childhood also. Okay, what are the causes? As we have discussed, nutritional rickets can caused by vitamin D deficiency, and vitamin D deficiency can caused by various reasons we have discussed earlier. Okay, so coming to VDDR type 1 and type 1A and type 1B. So type 1A caused by mutation in the gene encoding alpha-1 hydroxylase. As we have seen in the first slide that alpha-1 hydroxylase converts 25OH into 125OH. Okay, so there will be no conversion of 25OH to 125OH after this mutation, and 1B mutation is in 25 hydroxylase. So in which 25OH will not be synthesized in the liver. So both of these are autosomal recessive disorders. Okay, now coming to VDDR type 2A and type 2B. So 2A is caused by mutation in gene encoding the vitamin D receptor. So in earlier slide I have told you that VDR type 2 is end organ resistance of vitamin D. Okay, so 2B is caused by overexpression of hormone response element binding protein. So both of them there will be resistant to peripheral expression of the receptors, and vitamin D will not be work on the cell. So both of them are autosomal recessive. Now coming to hypophosphatemic rickets. Hypophosphatemic rickets can be X-linked, autosomal recessive, autosomal dominant and hereditary phosphatemia with the hypercalciuria. Okay, so in X-linked, mutation will be in FACS gene, which leads to increased level of FGF23 for fibroblast growth factor 23. In autosomal recessive, mutation in the gene encoding dentin matrix protein 1. In autosomal dominant, mutation will be in the gene encoding FGF23. All of these three mutations will cause increase in the FGF23, which further leads to decreased resorption of phosphate in PCT, increase excretion of phosphate in the urine, which further leads to hypophosphatemia, decreased synthesis of 125-OH. Okay. In hereditary hypophosphatemia with hypercalciuria, HHRH, mutation is in the gene of sodium phosphate cotransporter in the proximal tumor. This will also leads to increase excretion of the phosphate in the kidney, and which further leads to hypophosphatemia and decreased synthesis of 125-OH. Okay, so what are the clinical feature? The typical rickets clinical feature we will discuss later. So in nutritional rickets, the typical rickets feature will be there, as in VDDR type 1 and type 2 also. But in type 2, there will be 50 to 70% cases will be having alopecia also. And in hypophosphatemic rickets, with typical feature of rickets, they will have poor growth, lower extremities deformity, dental abscess are also common, and in HHRH there will be ricketic leg abnormalities, muscle weakness and bone pain, and patient can have short stature with the disproportionate decrease in the length of lower extremities. So these are the clinical features will present in the different type of rickets. Okay. So this table is showing the lab parameters in the different type of rickets. So in the nutritional, so we will discuss one by one. Like in first we will see calcium. So calcium will be normal to decrease in all type of rickets except phosphatemic rickets. It will be normal. Okay. Phosphate will be decreased in all type of rickets. Okay. ALP will be increased in all type of rickets. 25-OH, as we have discussed, 25-OH will be decreased in nutrition, and 1B because there will be mutation in 25-OH hydroxylase. So 25-OH will not be synthesized in 1B. In 1A it will be normal or increased. Okay. In VDDR type 2 and hypophosphatemic rickets it will be normal. In 125-OH can be increased, normal or decreased in nutritional deficiency, while in 1A it will be decreased because there will be mutation in alpha-1 hydroxylase, while in 1B it will be normal. Okay. In 2A it will be decreased. Okay. In hypophosphatemic rickets, in autosomal recessive, dominant and X-linked, it will be relatively decreased, while in nutritional HHRH it will be increased. Okay. PTH, parathyroid hormone, will be increased in all type of rickets except in the autosomal dominant and autosomal recessive it will be normal, and in X-linked hypophosphatemic rickets it can be normal to decrease. Urinary calcium will be decreased in all type of hypophosphatemic rickets except nutritional and HHRH it will be increased. Okay. Urinary phosphate will be increased in all type of rickets except in nutrition it will be decreased. Okay. So next, coming to clinical features of rickets. So this is the picture showing the clinical feature of rickets. First, general features. General feature: patient will be failure to thrive, listless, protuberant abdomen, muscle weakness will be there, proximal, and there will be multiple fractures with the minimal trauma. Okay. So these are the general features. Now coming to head. In head there will be craniotabs, frontal bossing. Okay. delayed frontal closure, which is usually closed by 2 years, there will be delayed closure of fontanelles. Okay, craniosynostosis will be there. There will be delayed dentition. Okay, no incisor by 10 months and no molar by 18 months of age, and there will be caries in the dentition. Okay. Other features in like chest, there will be ricketic rosary. Ricketic rosary are prominence of ribs, costal ends. Okay, so this is the prominence of ribs costal region. Okay, and there will be Harrison groove. Harrison groove, and child will have repeated respiratory infection and atelectasis also. Repeated respiratory infection because of the decreased immunity. Okay, in back, child can have scoliosis, kyphosis, lordosis. In extremities, child will have enlargement of wrist, ankle, valgus and varus deformity. There will be wind shift deformity. This is wind shift deformity. Okay, and there will be bowing of legs and enlargement of wrist. This is widening of wrist. This is the typical feature of rickets, early signs of rickets. Okay. So these are the signs of clinical feature of rickets. Now coming to treatment of rickets. So treatment if depend on what kind of rickets. So in vitamin D deficiency, if patient is patient has poor compliance to therapy or symptomatic hypocalcemia, then we should give STOS therapy. In STOS therapy, we give 3 lakh to 6 lakh vitamin D, preferably D3, preferably oral, but you can give IM also as 2 to 4 doses over 1 day. Okay. Always give calcium supplement with the vitamin D, and if child is compliant to daily therapy, then we would recommend daily therapy. In daily therapy, depend on age. If age less than 3 months, then daily 2000 international unit for 90 days. 3 months to 1 year, 2000 international unit for 90 days. If want to give single dose, then you can give 50,000. In 1 to 12 years, 3000 to 6000 6,000 for 90 days and 1.5 lakh as a single dose. If child is more than 12 years, then you can give 6,000 daily for 90 days and 3 lakhs as a single dose. Okay. In VDDR type 1A, we have to give long-term treatment with a 125 OSD calcitriol. Initial dose will be 0.25 to 2 microgram per day, but you can increase as per requirement with the calcium supplement. In VDDR type 1B, you have to give vitamin D2 supplement 3000 international unit per day. Now coming to VDDR type 2A and type 2B treatment. So these kids will need high dose of vitamin D2, 25 OSD or 125 OSD. Initial dose will be 2 microgram per day. Later it can be increased by 50 to 60 microgram per day. The calcium dose is also high. It is 1000 to 3000 milligram per day. And patients who do not respond to high dose vitamin D may be treated with a long term IV calcium with a possible transition to very high dose oral calcium supplement. In hypophosphatemic rickets, combination of oral phosphorus and 125 OSD you have to give. The daily need of phosphorus supplement is 1 to 3 gram of elemental phosphorus divided into 4 to 5 dose. The calcitriol is administered as 30 to 70 nanogram per kg per day in 2 doses. There is a monoclonal antibody in case of X-linked recessive disorders. That is Burosumab Tuaza. It is approved in more than 1 year of age in the X-linked hypophosphatemia rickets. So in hypophosphatemia rickets we need to monitor. So laboratory monitoring of treatment, we have to do serum calcium, phosphorus, ALP, PTH, urinary calcium, as well as periodic renal ultrasound to evaluate nephrocalcinosis, because these patients are very prone to have nephrocalcinosis, high ALP and phosphorus also. And in HHRH, oral phosphorus replacement 1 to 2.5 gram per day of elemental phosphorus in the 5 divided dose. So that's all for today on the rickets. Next class we will be discussing scurvy. So if you want to have class on your favorite topic, you can tell me in comment section, and please like, share and subscribe my channel. And you can have, if you want to ask any query, you can comment in the comment section. Okay, have a nice day. Okay.